All right. Here we go again. We are streaming live across multiple channels. Again, at the moment, LinkedIn, Facebook, even Twitch, and of course, all things that are attached to social media. We're live again. Hey everyone, my name is Kimberly Nicole Evans. I am the CEO of Seismic Transformations. And today we're going to introduce the actual journey of a soulpreneur. Soulpreneurship is something that I am practicing myself as transitioning out of corporate. For any of you that with soulpreneurship is actually the art of creation, but not creating out of survival. Most people before may have created a business because they needed to feed themselves, they needed to eat, they needed to take care of their families. So they ended up creating something. They created a business off of either what they knew to do physically with their hands or what they knew to do through their creativity, whether it was a patent or a trademark or something of that kind. But they've done that. And they are ready now to do something different. And guess what the wonderful thing that as you're going through this process of soulpreneurship and discovering from your head to your heart what it is that you truly want to create is that you don't have to create from survival anymore. You have the resources, or you know that you will have access to the resources that you need to do the things in life and to create the type of business that you really want to create. And guess what? This is not charity. This is not nonprofits. These are for-profit businesses from individuals who are used to having, good success in life, and they're going to continue to have good success. But now they don't have to create from that point of survival. They don't have to create from that point of, well, I went to school to do this, so I have to create a business that's in line with this. They're absolutely going through the process of discovering, and for many people, rediscovering what it is that if you had all the resources in the world, what type of business would you create? Who would it benefit? What would be the products? What would be the services? How would you feel as the CEO of this type of business going into this new form of creation and having the relaxation of knowing that you're not doing it to survive from it anymore? You're doing it absolutely because it is what's in your heart, it is what's in your head, and you're marrying that to and you're moving forward. But yeah, you also want to have good success, as you have had and will continue to have. You used to having good success in your past, and now you're going to have good success in your life going forward. So that is what we're going to be focused on today: soulpreneurship, introduction to it, and what exactly is it? The world as we know is absolutely shifting, right? It's shifting. Economic downturns, mass layoffs, have fundamentally reshaped the stability that many have long associated with traditional businesses or even having traditional corporate jobs. Soulpreneurship was actually born out of this moment of uncertainty, not only as a guide, but as a companion for those who are ready to actually redefine their future, right? We're still those determined dreamers, seeking freedom, seeking fulfillment, and of course, those financial gains, right? These are not charitable businesses. These are not social enterprises in that they only benefit the society as a whole and don't carry those benefits of also creating additional wealth for yourselves and for your family. It's for those who are also continuing to want to have more of that time freedom, and of course just additional financial freedom, right? Adding to the pot, adding to what you already have, and doing it all in the face of this uncertainty. But as we go through this process, my invitation is for you to start the process of seeing how you can transform your life. How you could redefine success from what it meant to you before, and to reclaim those dreams that you had and that you once thought were impossible, of creating that business now that you know where the resources will come from. And even if you aren't fully aware of where all of the resources will come from, that's all just a part of the journey as well, right? And for those of you who may be exiting out of the corporate world and stepping into or contemplating contemplating stepping into a life shaped by your passion, shaped by your purpose, and shaped by your unique potential. When I work with all of my clients, one of the main things and the main theme that comes up time and time again is in that transition is the fear. And it's fear is just false evidence appearing real. It's not real. But the fear of having to start over, the fear of leaving a corporate position and going into a business and starting a business that you really, really know that is something that you should be doing and that you have been called to do and driven to do. But you just have that fear of detaching from something that you've known for so long. You've seen your name on a business card for so long with somebody else's logo at the top. You really don't know what to do now that you are no longer in that co-pilot seat, right? You're having to move from the co-pilot seat to the pilot seat. And or you have an existing business and you have been in a particular industry for so long, you know that industry in and out. And now you're being called to do something that's different. It may be in the same industry, it may not be in the same industry, but it's still a transition and it's still different. And that difference is what has been attracting so many people to working with me in seismic transformations and working through those differences and understanding that you're also going to be working with other people who are just like you. They are successful just like you, but they're embarking on this next stage. They're in this next stage in life, right? That is truly driven by their passion, their purpose, and their unique potential. One of the things that I discuss in the whole Soulpreneurship cycle, I even have a webinar that I do twice monthly. It's a free webinar that's on CORE, the CORE live experience, discovering and building and transitioning from the characteristics, traits, and gifts that are absolutely original and unique to you. And when you are in a point where those gifts and those traits that are original and unique to you are inspired, you move into this possibility realm of just continuously having this exceptional life with exceptional success beyond anything that you truly could have imagined for yourself. So if this is you and you fall into either one of those categories and you're in transition, existing business, corporate professional wanting to transition, CORE was created exactly for these moments, exactly in these times when you are ready to make that transition, but you're not just wanting to sell straws and widgets for the sake of selling straws and widgets. You want to truly create from what is originally and unique to you and that only you can do. That business, that one thing that only you can do. So as you have been working for years, right, in your corporate life, climbing that ladder, meeting deadlines, and checking all of the boxes society told you in regards to how success is being defined. On the surface, right, we all seem to had it all. But deep inside, we know that we aren't being truly fulfilled by these careers. Many of us know this. And your days get to the point where they are predictable. You already know what you're going to do that day. Your creativity may have even been stifled, or someone put a lid on it, right? And that fire, that desire that you once had that makes you feel alive, right, is barely flickering, right? It can even be that way in your business. You know your business like the back of your hand, and it's no longer giving you that energy and that fire that you still desire to have. Well, this is a pivotal moment for many of us. For many of you who are listening to this live broadcast right now, you're lying awake late at night, and during the day you're daydreaming. You're not even where you are. You may even be the CEO, and you're not there. You're somewhere else, right? After yet another business trip, you looked out the window, right? Just the endless stretch of stars, and you realize that you were meant for more. You realize that even after all that you have done and all that you have created, that you were meant for more, right? I love the discipline and focus that my corporate career actually instilled in me. but I long to actually build something of my own, right? Building something of my own, guided by my own values and my own dreams. And that doesn't mean that you don't share some of the similar values or some of the same dreams that you may have with your corporation, but those are their values. That's their mission, right? That's not your stuff. You may agree with it, you may relate to it, but that's not yours. You may lead a team, but those employees aren't yours. Your name isn't on their paycheck. You all share a common paycheck that the corporation is paying you and them to be there, right? But when you start to realize that even in your corporate career, that you no longer want to be that pilot, you no longer want to be that co-pilot, right? You want to be the actual pilot. You want to drive the shift. You want to be able to have your vision and your dreams come to manifestation, right? So I love the discipline of my corporate career, but I knew that was just made for something more. And most people have always known, you just go through your careers as long as you can, and you make the most of it, and most of us are really good at making the most of it. And just like that, right? Once you know that you are guided by something more, just like that, my leap began. I had to begin to take this mental leap. It wasn't an instant transformation, nor was it easy to decide to walk away from my good corporate job, right? I had to unlearn certain ways of thinking. And even with you individuals who are in successful businesses right now, as you transition or you're wanting to grow your business, even if it's been at a plateau and you've lost the creativity to grow it, to really move it to the next level, right? There are some things that you're going to have to unlearn your ways, certain ways of thinking. And this is just all called a paradigm shift, right? Face your fears that you shoved aside, and you have to trust yourself in ways that you've never trusted before. You have to bet on yourself, right? Burn all the ships. There ain't no turning back. Well, you could technically, because you haven't lost all your skills. So at the end of the day, if you want to run back to corporate, you can, but it's not necessary. It is absolutely not necessary. And everything that you would ever want or need to have as resources, you can absolutely create and bring to the table with you, right? And you shove the fears aside, you start to trust yourself, you bet on yourself, but through the challenges comes your clarity. As you're going through this process, as you are making the decisions to take the leap, to transition, as you're in that CEO seat and you're making the decisions to either continue in your business as it is existing or create a new business, you are going to face some challenges. But it's in those challenges that you will actually have clarity, right? And so here at Seismic Transformation, we teach you to utilize and leverage the strategies and tools and the mindset shifts that are absolutely necessary in order for you to be able to break through those terror barriers and get to the other side, and also unlearn some of your ways of thinking, right? And I'm sharing this with you now, and we'll continue to share as we have guest speakers going forward on Mondays, as far as the live broadcast of individuals who have absolutely gone through their lives and they've made the transitions and they've made the shifts, or they're at the stage where they're contemplating making the shift. Some have already made up their minds. They're transitioning their business. They're transitioning their corporate career into something else. And I'm saying to everyone who's watching this live broadcast, you don't have to sit down and start counting straws and widgets or doing what you think someone else has done, and then you think you're going to one up them and do it better, which is possible, but a better way of doing this thing, a better way of becoming an entrepreneur, as we are becoming more and more advanced in our thinking and advanced just in general as human beings. We can start to build and create businesses from our passions, from our experience in life, truly become soulpreneurs over a holistic approach to leaving the corporate world or transitioning your business and stepping into a life of purpose and possibility. It is absolutely possible, right? we address the challenges many professionals face today, right? Blending practical advice with heartfelt encouragement to create a guide that is both inspirational and actionable. Whether you're the parent balancing responsibilities, the professional wondering if it's too late, or the laid off worker searching for direction, right? Or the existing entrepreneur who knows that they are done creating in one way and they want to start creating in another way. Soulpreneurship and this process of core and building from your core is absolutely for you. What makes this experience unique, absolutely unique, and perhaps even the best fit or a great fit for you, is through every diverse case study that we've worked with, every entrepreneur that I've worked with in my masterminds. You will see individuals from all walks of life transforming their passion into a profitable business. And anybody who knows me knows absolutely I've never really worked with nonprofits. I've donated to them, but I'm all about wealth creation, as well as building profitable businesses that are sustainable and have the ability and the backbones to scale, right? So we're talking about transforming passion into profitable businesses. We introduce you to the absolute innovative tools and resources that make starting and or growing a business realistic and accessible. From leveraging technology to creating the financial plans that work for your specific needs. I'm once a banker, right? I still have my banking acumen and tools. Businesses have to be financed. Growth has to be financed. And through that, leveraging technology to creating financial plans that work for your specific needs. Additionally, right, we don't skirt around the emotional weight of making a life-changing decision, making transitions. I've been transitioning most of my life, whether it's from the military into the corporate space, from the corporate space into the entrepreneurial space. I've been transitioning most of my life, right? And transitions carry a lot of emotions. We provide a deep understanding of the subconscious fears holding many people back, but also equips many with the strategies to overcome whatever fears that you have, false evidence appearing real, right? And fostering a mindset of resilience and growth. Oftentimes what happens with entrepreneurs, and it's amazing, it's interesting, all of the things that entrepreneurs hear and tell themselves that aren't necessarily true. They aren't backed by science, and nor are they backed by fact. Many people tell themselves it's too late for them to make any type of transition or pivot, that no one wants to hear or receive what it is that they have to offer from their own natural, unique gifts. You hear entrepreneurs, say everything from because of the color of their skin or their gender, they're, prone to not have success one way or the other. These are all paradigms. These are all paradigms that we create that are not necessarily true. Even from the aspect that access to capital, creating a business, attracting investors. We go through everything in our masterminds that cover all of the technical things as well as all of the non-technical things, such as building relationships and building the right relationships, and proximity, being able to have the proper mindset in going into becoming an entrepreneur, and having that winner's mindset that is regardless of your race or gender or sexual orientation. None of that stuff matters when you are building from a blueprint that just has some discipline and some strategies built around it that actually work, right? And so just a word of advice, recommendation, as you're going through embarking and learning on your next transition as a soulpreneur is resist the urge to listen to all of the naysayers. Oftentimes when you're making big plans, you don't announce them because all of the people who care about you and some of them who don't care about you are going to have an opinion on what it is that you're doing. And for the most part, that opinion, most of the time is not serving you, it's serving them because they're comfortable seeing you where you are in whatever position or place that you may be in. It's for their comfort. It's not for your comfort. And so just be aware, be cognizant of putting your plans out there in a manner whereby people who really don't have anything to say about what you're doing are giving you feedback. And that's not to say that you don't discuss it with your significant others and your spouses and things of that nature. Of course you have to. But also just be aware and be cognizant, again, that it's your life, right? They may be affected by what you do or don't do, but it's still your life. And why is this? Because often the greatest breakthrough that you will have, it will happen when you allow yourself to see the bigger picture first, right? You allow yourself to see the bigger picture first before zeroing in on all the steps that it would have to take, zeroing in on the opinions of others. And once you've actually gone through the process of deciding that you want to do this for yourself, again, just be very aware and cognizant of who you're speaking to and who you're sharing this information with, right? And so we're not about coaxing people or encouraging people to leave the corporate world for the sake of leaving the corporate world. It's about helping you to uncover something extraordinary about yourself and within yourself. Your genius, your resilience, your creativity that may have been lying dormant for far too long, and or it was just being used and leveraged by another source, and that source is oftentimes your corporate employer. It's about guiding you to a life where work feels meaningful. Your contributions create impact, and your days are filled with joy, not just your busyness. Your days are not just filled with your busyness. And that doesn't mean that you don't find meaning in your work or impact in your work. And again, it's your work that you're just doing someone else's way and you're putting your all into it, right? And if you know that you have this whisper, and some people, it may even be a yell, and you don't have to wait until you're downsized and right-sized and all of these things in order to get you to do the thing that you've always wanted. Some of you may be in a position like I was. Nothing was wrong. Great job, great bonus, work with great people, great boss, all those great things. The only thing that wasn't right was the alignment. And this is about alignment. Oftentimes your next promotion, your next raise, your next whatever it may be in life is not where you completely want it to be, because you're still not in alignment, right? You're not in alignment with what it is that you really, really want to do in your life. So again, it may be yelling at you, your insides, that you're ready for something different. It could be a whisper, it could be a yell. Don't ignore that. Don't ignore that messaging. And you're not by yourself. You're not the only one who's hearing that whisper or hearing that yell. And absolutely everything that you need in order to make your transition is there and is available for you. And we're saying here at Seismic Transformations, you don't have to go through this transition alone, right? Your leap doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to look like someone else you may know, your neighbors or your best friend. And it doesn't have to happen all at once. It doesn't have to happen all at once. As a matter of fact, I teach people to stay in your corporate position, or absolutely stay in the business that you have grown or are growing, And you use that as leverage to start to bridge yourself into your new thing, into your next thing, into your transition. There's absolute value in where you are, right? So your leap doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to happen all at once. But with clarity, action, and belief in yourself, look, I promise you that there are endless possibilities. That once you start to follow that inner voice, once you start to follow that inner call, once you start to act on it, and once you learn the process of how to do it, the process, the tools, the mindset to truly make that leap, to truly make that shift, the possibilities are endless. Absolutely endless. Many of you are watching me live. I don't have a screensaver up. It's not one heck of a screensaver. This is actually my view. And this is my own life story, and this is my own transition. So you could absolutely make the transition without losing ground, without losing favor, without losing wealth. You actually gain things in the process. You gain a higher sense of calling. You've always made money, you made money then, you're going to continue to do it. You're just going to be doing it in a different way. I get to have my time back, my time freedom. You get to decide certain things when it comes to how you go about building and creating this new business, this new walk that you're having in life. Okay? You absolutely get to work with endless possibilities. And you're here, you're listening to this message right now today because you're ready. You're ready to explore, you're ready to take bold steps, and to design a life aligned with your highest potential, right? And I'm honored, absolutely honored, to walk this path with you and to cheer you on every step of the way. For those of you who are looking on social media, if you want more information on how you can get started with your next leap, with your next transition, for your next call that is absolutely designed by you, for you, reach out to us on social media. Our team, someone will get back to you. If you're on LinkedIn, you could just go ahead and schedule a meeting, schedule a call. Same thing across many of our social media channels. So reach out to us. In the comments, you can always add your information and we'll reach out to you and connect with you and contact you. So we want to thank everyone for listening to the live broadcast today. It's been real. It's been my absolute pleasure. So now take a deep breath. Let's turn the next page and let's begin this incredible soul-quenching transformation. You will absolutely not regret it. And as I say, coming live to you from Oahu, Hawaii, aloha and mahalo.